When I was 12 years old, I had just started staying home alone. We lived in a peaceful little town, quiet streets, friendly neighbors, and almost no crime. That night, my parents left me alone with money for pizza and the usual instructions. Lock the doors, don't answer calls, and wrap leftovers in foil. I was in my room playing James Bond on my PS2 when the doorbell rang. I rushed down, grabbed the $20 my mom left, and opened the door. The delivery guy looked rough, messy beard, black trucker hat, old glasses. As he handed me the pizza and change, he glanced behind me and casually asked, "You alone here?" It startled me. My parents had warned me about questions like that. I awkwardly replied, "They're coming home soon," and shut the door quickly. I played some more, and a few hours later, the doorbell rang again. Thinking it was my parents, I called out, "Mom? Dad?" But a stranger's voice answered, "Hey, I need help. Can I use your phone?" I froze. I asked, "Who is this?" But he just repeated that he needed to use the phone. I didn't open the door. I walked up the stairs when I heard, "Wait, please, I need help." He must have seen me through the glass above the door. I panicked, ran to my parents' room, and called my mom. She sobered up quickly when I explained. While still on the phone with her, I heard the side gate open. I whispered to her, and she urged me to stay silent and hide. Then, footsteps inside the house. My heart dropped. I heard someone walking upstairs. They tried my parents' bedroom door, then knocked gently. The knob turned, but the door was locked. Eventually, the footsteps faded away. My mom told me the police were almost there. I stayed hidden. Minutes later, I heard heavy boots and a man calling my name, a police officer. I opened the door, and the nightmare ended. The back sliding door was open. No forced entry. I told them everything, even about the pizza guy. My parents suspected him. We even went to the pizzeria the next day, but the man wasn't there. The owner denied it was their driver. We never got answers, but I never stayed home alone again. When I was a teenager, we moved to a remote area in North Idaho. Our new house was huge and isolated, surrounded by forest. One night, my girlfriend came over while my parents were out. We watched a movie in the home theater. Around midnight, I felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Something was watching us. I didn't say anything, trying to ignore it. After she left, I went back downstairs to turn off the lights. That's when I saw him. A man stood outside the window. Dirty clothes, wild hair, and a twisted grin. He was tapping a knife against the glass. I froze, then quietly walked to the barroom to shut off the lights. There he was again, at the sliding door, still smiling. I rushed upstairs just as my parents arrived. I told them what I saw. My dad grabbed his rifle and searched, but the man was gone. That night, as I tried to sleep, I heard tapping beneath me. My room was right above the movie room. The tapping lasted for hours. Night after night, it returned. Sometimes footsteps on the roof. I never saw anyone again, but the fear lingered. One snowy night, my parents were out of town. I had a shotgun beside me and a Rottweiler at my side. Then, footsteps in the snow. The dog growled, a deep, warning growl. A knock at the door followed. Slow, hollow, I didn't answer. The next morning, footprints circled every window. Someone had been watching, moving silently in the night. That night, he returned. Same man, same knife, same smile. I stepped onto the deck with the shotgun. He stared at me, unblinking. I fired a warning shot. He flinched, then backed away into the forest. I unleashed the dog. It bolted into the darkness. After that, I never saw the man again. In March 2022, my college friends and I rented a cabin in South Carolina for spring break. It was supposed to be a fun getaway, 6 of us, 2-story house, deep in the woods, far from town. The owner warned us not to wander too far into the forest, something about old wells and snakes. We laughed it off. The first night was normal. Music, drinks, card games. By 4:15 a.m., I woke up suddenly in my ground floor room. Tap, tap, tap. At my window stood a man. Pale, wild hair, shirtless, breathing heavily through his open mouth, staring. Frozen, I called for Matt. He saw the man too. We turned on the porch light, and the man vanished. The next morning, footprints circled the cabin, bare feet. At every single window. We should have left, but we stayed. Night 2, Matt saw someone in the kitchen. The same man, naked, back covered in scratches, swaying in front of the fridge. We gathered, turned on the light. He was gone. The back door was wide open. We packed and left immediately. The police weren't surprised. Squatters, they said. But this wasn't just squatting. This man had come back twice and somehow got inside. We never got our deposit back, never heard from the owner again, and none of us have returned to South Carolina since. If you're still here, thank you for listening. These stories were sent in by real people, and if you have one of your own, send it to the email in the description. Don't forget to check behind your mirror tonight, and never ignore a sound coming from under your bed. Subscribe if you dare to come back.